This is Steven Platinum, your friend in wrestling with Platinum versus AEW Dynamite, or you can call it Fyter Fest, Week 2. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Strong show. Let's just jump into it. They opened with Jericho against Shawn Spears, which I thought was a smart move. After all, this is a foregone conclusion match in one sense. If Jericho's going to go through 5 trials, you best believe he's going to win the first one. And it's Shawn Spears who is allowed to use the chair. They had a little interplay between Tully and Sammy, and again, I think this thing of the inner circle never striking Tully, even when provoked, is really great, and it distinguishes them as baby faces. Jericho ends up winning this thing in kind of a cool fashion, and then but MJF brings out Nick Gage, and they're going to just have a knockdown, drag out, no holds barred fight. Gets a great reaction from the crowd. It's going to get a great reaction from the wrestling world. They run down the card, go to commercial, and they come back, and they talk to Miro, who now all semblance of the lame former gimmick are gone. He's the Redeemer now. Match number 2, they get the four matches in the first hour, and then do a lot of advancement stuff in the second, which I thought worked really well. We have Luke Gallows against Frankie Kazarian. Luke Gallows, to me, he's always awkward, yet not as imposing as he should be. That's the dichotomy of him. At the end of it, though, he does that throat thing, powerbomb thing. He manages to get the win. Kenny Omega comes out. Adam Page comes out. The Dark Order come out to back him up. We're clearly establishing Adam Page and Kenny Omega is going to happen, and it's going to be a big deal when it does. Though it's strange that they didn't mention the 5-on-5 match that they're supposed to have at the pay-per-view. That's kind of odd to me. The Ricky Starks says he's going to have a big celebration for his FTW title win, and Brian Cage implies he's going to break it up. Match number 3, Wheeler Yuta with Orange Cassidy against Darby Allin with Sting at ringside. The interplay between Sting and Orange Cassidy at ringside, very fun. Darby Allin eventually wins with the coffin drop, of course. Blade drops Orange with those brass knuckles, and then Hikuleo, son of Haku, is watching at ringside, and he's going to factor in at the end of the show as well. Match number 4, Nyla Rose versus Britt Baker. Britt Baker is the number 1 woman in wrestling, and clearly the most over. And the match is very good. And having Britt Baker win with the lockjaw is awesome. And the interplay where Britt Baker tries to do some light sheet steel stuff, but it's something that the commentators missed, and it drove me crazy, is that Vicky Guerrero caught on to what was going on and held up the referee even longer so Nyla could reverse it on them. They completely missed that, the idea of Eddie Guerrero's widow catching on to what Britt Baker was trying to do and countering it. They fucking blew it. I don't know how they missed that fact. A great promo segment between Santana Ortiz and FTR, short and sweet and brutal, and that's a match we're looking forward to. Commercial, we come back. Andrade, who announces Chavo Guerrero is his new advisor, and the Death Triangle come out, and we have shenanigans. Cool. We see a segment that happened before the show started between the Hardy Family Office, Jurassic Express, and Christian, and then we established that we're going to see Jurassic Express and Christian, meaning Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy and Christian against Angelico and Private Party. Commercial, we come back. Alex is there with QT in the factory, and Alex Marvez says, shouldn't you apologize to Tony Schiavone? And QT says, I'll apologize to Tony Schiavone next week in the ring. Oh boy. Apology will be given. Anyway, match number 5, Blade with Bunny against Orange Cassidy with Chris Statlander. This is a pet peeve, and I need it to stop in wrestling. I might even do a separate video about it. This notion of, I'm really hurt, so we have to stop the match, has to stop. It makes no sense. At no point in a wrestling match, so if an injury is just part of the match, we let it go. But if it's a shoot, I hate it. I think it's bad karma. I think you're asking for real injuries to happen, for one thing, and it breaks up this notion that we're watching. I hate it. I think it's stupid, and I don't know why people don't talk against it. I'm going to talk against it. Nonetheless, the match happens. Orange Cassidy eventually wins with the Orange Punch, and then gets those knucks and hits with the Orange Punch with the knuckles for a nice bit of justice served and the end of this feud, I would gather. Jericho cuts a promo talking about Nick Gage building up their match for next week, and then he turns around and he's got the Painmaker makeup on. Really cool moment. They run down next week's card, and then we have Lance Archer against Jon Moxley. Death match, basically. Texas death match. Really brutal. At the end of the day, a couple of great moments. Jon Moxley hitting the paradigm shift. Lance Archer getting up at 4 and then just being defiant. And then eventually a choke slam through barbed wire boards on top of tables. And Moxley can't get up, and Lance Archer wins the IWGP US title. And then it's confronted by Haku's kid and Hikuleo, and we see that Hikuleo is even taller than Lance Archer. I had no freaking idea. A very good Dynamite. The crowd is completely into it, and it's good for wrestling.